our kind of folks. Country folks. Country 97.3.
Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk. Carjacking old lady at a red light. Pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face. Stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, all that might fly in the city. Good luck, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town full of good old boys, raised up right. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town. Try that in a small town. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town.
The EAB Sports Network presents Stuttgart Ricebird baseball and softball coverage. Brought to you by Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services, Baptist Health Stuttgart, Blue Seal Petroleum, Coker Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop, Durden Heating and Cooling, Express Employment, Farmers and Merchants Bank, Freemeyer's Best Friends Plus, Southern Bancorp, KD Shack, Konechny Insurance, Max Prairie Wings, Pearson Company, Stedman's Ace Hardware, TechStream High-Speed Internet, U.S. Irrigation, and Wilkerson Jewelers. The Ricebird broadcast starts now.
On an absolutely beautiful Monday afternoon from the Ricebird Athletic Complex, it's time for Lady Ricebird softball on Country 97.3. It's all a part of the EAB Sports Radio Network. Cole Sherman, Andrew Skinner, Evan Watson back at the station as the Ricebirds get set to take on the Star City Bulldogs here. First pitch in, somewhere around 10 minutes between these two clubs. It's a non-conference matchup between 4A schools located an hour apart. Always a good opportunity when the Bulldogs come up to Stuttgart. Also, Star City playing soccer here at Ned Mosley Stadium this afternoon, so there's a lot happening here on this Monday following Resurrection Sunday. So we're glad that you're making us a part of your Monday afternoon, and hopefully we're going to have a good contest for you here this afternoon. The Lady Ricebirds in desperate need of some good feelings and some good vibes and some good softball. They have struggled of late. Had not the performance they were hoping for on Friday afternoon as they hosted McGee for Alumni Night. The Lady Ricebirds were run-ruled in that one. Just really never could get traction. Had a poor performance in the field, 6 errors for the game, and as a result, McGee put a lot of unearned runs across the plate. McGee didn't need any help. They were very talented at the plate, very talented in the circle. And as a result, Stuttgart dropped that one. But this is a new day. It's a new opportunity as the Lady Ricebirds have this final chance before conference play begins on Thursday when they host the Truman Lady Wildcats. So this is the last opportunity for a little warm-up butter before they get set for the games that really matter the most in 4A6 conference play. Had an opportunity to talk to Coach Prince a little bit before the game. We talked a little bit over the weekend, and he was a little maybe disappointed is probably a fair word to describe his feeling after that loss on Friday. He really thought his girls were ready to play. So maybe it's just a little bit late. They'll do it all here this afternoon between the Birds and the Bulldogs. We do have starting lineups for the two teams. The plate meeting is just, well, it's moments away. It's waiting on one coach. We have two umpires and a Star City manager. All we're waiting on is Coach Prince to make his way out to the plate for the pregame meeting where they'll talk a little bit about some of the ground rules and some of the things that need to be paid attention to. So the way things are moving right now, we've got a plate meeting at 5:50, so that means we probably will be very close to an on-time 5 o'clock first pitch. The lineups here this afternoon, we will give you the Lady Ricebirds first. Of course, they're the home team. Stuttgart in the the home whites, the maroon bottoms. They will have a lineup a little bit different. They've shaken it up a little bit. Some similarities, a few things different from what we saw on Friday night. Lindley Hossman is going to lead things off here this afternoon. She's also behind the plate. Hallie Watkins moves into the number 2 spot in the lineup. She'll play center field this afternoon. Avery Hampton is the pitcher in the circles. She's the freshman. She will get the start today. I'm sure Hallie will go on Thursday in the conference matchup. Lily Griffin is in her familiar cleanup spot. This afternoon, she'll play shortstop. Michaela Hale bats 5th and plays third base, while Addison Zella is back in the lineup today. She's over at first base. Casey Klein is your second baseman, batting 7th. Shiloh O'Neill bats 8th and plays right field, while Bethany Waddell is in the lineup in the 9 spot. She'll play left field this afternoon. So for Stuttgart, a lineup of Hossman, Watkins, and Hampton to lead things off, then Griffin, Hale, Zella, Klein, O'Neill, and Waddell. So a few things similar, a few things different, some ladies in different spots in the lineup as Coach Prince is trying to get a little bit of a spark here to get his girls back on the winning side of things as conference play looms on Thursday afternoon. The visitors are the Star City Bulldogs out of Class 4A. They, of course, participate in the 4A8. That is Stuttgart's conference in football. Of course, things are so different now. Stuttgart's in the 4A6 in everything this season, 4A8 in football. Next year, it will be different. Stuttgart's in the 4A8 in football next year, but they'll be in the 4A2 in more than likely everything. Certainly, we know basketball will be in the 4A2. Softball, baseball probably will follow into the 4A2 as well. Starting lineup for the Bulldogs. Leading things off is the shortstop. That is Paisley Martin. Tori Glover bats second and plays second base. Lily Wiest is the third baseman in the 3 spot. Chaselyn Blassingame plays first base, and she hits cleanup, while Aubrey Blassingame will play right field and hit 5th. The number 6 batter is the pitcher in the circle. That is number 99, Braylon Connett. This is the second game in a row that the pitcher in the circle has worn number 99, so not all that typical, but that is the case tonight. The number 7 batter is your designated player, Gracie Riley. Let's see, JC, I can't read my writing. I need that coach's Magnets. JC Magnets is the left fielder batting 8th, while Emmerly Martin is in the 9 spot. She'll catch. Addie Robertson is not in the lineup. She is the flex player. She'll play center field for the Lady Bulldogs here this afternoon. So for Star City, it is Martin, Glover, Wiest, Blassingame, Connett. Is it Connett or Connett? Do we know how to pronounce that? We'll go with Connett or Connett. We may do it interchangeably. And then Riley, Magnets, Martin, and Robertson ends in not in the lineup, but playing center field. So that's the starting lineup for the two teams on the defense or on the offensive side of things. We'll give you the defensive lineup when Stuttgart hits the field here in a few moments. I believe this is the first time I've seen these uniforms. I don't think they've had these uniforms in any of our home broadcasts. They got the white tops with the Stuttgart in block letters across the front. Looks like they're the Adidas brand. Star City, they got the blue unis and the white pinstripes as we are just a few minutes away from first pitch. The two coaches are out talking to our umpires right now. They're talking over those ground rules. So while we wait on the starting lineups and the national anthem here from Riceburg Athletic Complex, we'll take a break. And when we come back, we should be just about ready for first pitch. We'll do that in 4 minutes. Back in 4 minutes, you're listening to Lady Bird Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
In Stuttgart has immediate openings for all job types and skill levels. Come in today to apply or go online to expresspros.com. Express is now hiring clerical, office administration, warehouse and production, equipment operators, CDL drivers, welders, machine operators, general labor, and all sorts of skilled trades. Even if you're just thinking about a new job, start your search with Express Employment Professionals at 1904 South Main in Stuttgart. Come in today or go online to expresspros.com.
Hi, this is Lori Ann Brown, and here at Farmers and Merchants Bank, we've been part of the community since 1945, and that means something important. We're locally owned and operated right here in Arkansas. The folks making decisions at our bank live right here. We know the soil, the community, and the value of your word. We combine the best of modern banking with old-fashioned, neighborly trust because our success is tied directly to yours. Come in and talk to a hometown expert. Farmers and Merchants Bank, rooted in Arkansas, growing communities, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Do you know how much life insurance your partner has? What company is it with? Do you have life insurance? Is it through your employer only, or do you have a policy that you own? This is Holly Brothers, and as a life insurance agent, it is my responsibility to discuss the types of coverage available to you and put a plan in place for when your employer no longer provides coverage. Life insurance costs more as we age, so don't wait to apply. Let's lock in your rate today and save. Give Keith or myself a call at Connection Insurance, 870-673-9249.
Hello, this is Kyle Stovison with Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services in Stuttgart. If you're looking to purchase or refinance farm real estate, equipment, cattle, or need capital for your crop operating expenses, we finance it all and share our profits through our patronage program. At Ag Heritage, we have friendly loan officers, competitive rates, and most of all, a lender who provides you with a financing package tailor-made to fit your individual needs. Please contact Kevin Wingfield or myself, Kyle Stovison, in Stuttgart at 870-673-1558. Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services is an equal housing lender.
Blue Seal Petroleum in DeWitt and Stuttgart stocks a huge selection of tires for the farm and the family with interest-free financing for up to 6 months. When you're ready for tires for your car, truck, or SUV, call Blue Seal. With brands like Cooper, Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and Firestone, you'll always get the best tires at the best price at Blue Seal. When you need new tires, Blue Seal Petroleum on South Whitehead Drive in DeWitt, 870-946-2281, or on South Park Avenue in Stuttgart, 870-673-3126.
Hi, this is Emily Smith from Coker-Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop in downtown Stuttgart. Calling all class of 2026 graduates. Graduation gift registration is now open at Coker-Hampton, and we're ready to help you celebrate this exciting milestone. We've curated a wonderful selection of gifts you'll actually use and love, from decor to dorm and apartment essentials. Enjoy treats and refreshments while you register, and you'll also be entered in a prize drawing. Appointments are encouraged, so call or text the gift shop at 870-659-0777 and let us help you get ready for graduation at Coker-Hampton.
Hi, I'm Carrie Seaman, and I'd like to personally invite you to a special event coming to Stuttgart. Wild Horse Ministries will be at Crosby Arena on Friday, April the 10th at 6:30 p.m. Paul Daly and his family travel from Louisiana, sharing the gospel through a unique presentation using horse training. During the evening, they will work with a 2-year-old untamed colt, showing the process of training step by step while relating it to God's Word and the relationship between God and people. It's a powerful and meaningful presentation for families and church groups. Admission is free, and a love offering will be received at the end of the program. ARM 180 will also provide a paid concession stand. Crosby Arena is located at 2216 Highway 63 North in Stuttgart. For more information, call me, Carrie Seaman, at 870-873-4300. What's our favorite word? Yeah!
Ricebird softball, the national anthem hits the final note, and we are ready for first pitch here. Stuttgart and Star City, the final non-conference matchup before league play begins on Thursday afternoon. Defensively, we'll tell you that the Lady Ricebirds have a defensive alignment. Sounds something like this. At third base is going to be Michaela Hale. She's a senior. Lily Griffin plays shortstop. Casey Klein, a fellow senior, will be playing second base, while Addison Zella stands over at first. Left fielders, Bethany Waddell. She's back from injury. She's missed the majority of the season, but she's been back the last few weeks. As Hallie Watkins handles center field, Shiloh O'Neill stands in right. Behind the plate is the Lindley, a freshman? Sophomore. Lindley's a sophomore. Lindley, a sophomore? Yeah, sophomore. Thank you. Lindley Hossman, the sophomore, is behind the plate. And in the circle of freshmen, that is Avery Hampton. Hampton's a righty. She has given good innings thus far for Coach Prince and Coach Work in the circle. She's going to look to get things started off on a good note here on, as we've already said, an absolutely beautiful Monday afternoon. The sun is shining, not a cloud in the sky. I've got a kind of a light breeze coming in. Really just a great day for softball here. Great way to begin the week. As we still have fans coming into the facility right now. They're working their way in off of Berkeley Street. Soccer happening across the way at Ned Mosley Stadium. The Ricebirds and the Bulldogs, they looks like they have already gotten underway. In fact, that soccer match is happening. As leading things off for Star City is the shortstop. That's number 24, Paisley Martin. She bats from the left side. And Stuttgart's going to be very shallow defensively. They've got the corners in. They're expecting something on the ground, I believe. Hallie Watkins is going to shift to the right side of second base out there in center as Avery Hampton works the first pitch to Martin. And it's hit in the air, long way, well over the head of Watkins and up against the wall. That's going to chase Martin to second for a leadoff double. One pitch, and the Bulldogs are in business. Boy, Stuttgart was very shallow out there, and Martin chased them. Watkins had to show number 6 to the crowd, and she is going to be a little deeper with this batter, I believe. Tori Glover now at the plate. She's the the second baseman. Well, that is a leadoff double to start things off. Martin stands at second. Glover from the right side. First pitch on the way from Hampton. Hit pretty hard in the air. Left center field. Waddell comes over. Can't make the catch. That's going to score a run. Watkins will chase it down in left center. The throw is cut off by Griffin, and Bulldogs lead it 1-0. 2 pitches, and it is 1-0. Waddell got a decent jump. Had an opportunity. Couldn't get a glove on it. And as a result, it is back-to-back doubles. Now, Coach Prince is talking to the home plate umpire. Not sure if he's saying maybe they didn't touch the plate, or not sure what. Now Coach Prince is going to go out and talk to the base umpires. So we'll just keep it right here to see what the conversation, or so we can kind of deduce what the conversation is about. Lily Wiest, the third baseman, is next due up at the plate. Number 25 bats from the right side. As Hampton having to work around traffic now. So whatever the conversation was about is come to an end. So 1-0. Bulldogs lead it. Couple of doubles to lead things off. Wiest at the plate. Glover at second. Hampton has yet to record an out or a strike for that matter. And that pitch is fouled off, and that's the first strike of the game. No balls and a strike. Well, the ryegrass has really come in well here at the complex. Field looks great. Coach Prince, Coach Work, Coach Johnson have done a very good job on the facilities here. As the 0-1 from Hampton is on the way. Outside. Runner kind of deked like she was going to take third, but then stopped halfway. Stuttgart brings the corners in. Actually, I should say Michaela Hale's even with the bag. Zella is a few feet in front of the bag. Here's the 1-1. Hit on the ground, foul. So Hampton ahead, 1-2. If you're watching us on the EAB Stuttgart channel, welcome, EAB Stuttgart YouTube channel, welcome to you. As the 1-2 delivery. Oh, those are double-hung windows. Who knew? Is fouled off out of play. We just discovered the windows in the press box are double hung. We can go both ways with them. This is a game changer, and the throw goes into center field, but the base runner stops there. Of course, it was after a foul ball, so they must still be saying that the play was dead. Well, it's a game changer there, isn't it? That's much better. We don't have to look through that bar. Still wish we could completely get rid of them, but, 1 ball, 2 strikes as Avery Hampton looks to work the first out here in the top of the first. Here it comes, and it's an off-speed. Popped up. Casey Klein camps out, calls for it, and makes the catch. Boy, might have made it a little more interesting than it could have been, but it is an out, and there's 1 gone. Glover has to stay at second. Blassingame, Jacelyn Blassingame, the first baseman, is at the plate now. First pitch she sees, misses outside. Glover getting a huge secondary lead out there. Blassingame, the second batter in the left-handed batter's box now. She digs in with her, I assume, sister, Aubrey Blassingame, on deck. And that pitch is downstairs 2-0. Star City really trying to draw a throw out there from Lindley Hosman. She is easily, if they could run at her and make her make a decision, Mike could get her picked off the bag there. 2-0. Here it is, outside. Oh, he called it a strike. We'll take it. That pitch was in the right-handed batter's box. 2 balls and a strike. 1 out. Top 1, 1-0 Star City. Glover stands at second base. Here is the pitch to Blassingame. Off speed, hit on the ground, and foul. Ricebird baseball is off today. They will be in action tomorrow. They'll travel to Truman. Longest road trip of the season. That will not be the case next year if the conferences stay in softball and baseball what they are in basketball, because there's going to be a trip to Highland. Yes, you heard that, Highland next season. The 4A2 will have a team as far north as Highland on the Missouri line and Stuttgart. Here's the 2-2. Off speed. Just misses upstairs, and the count goes full. Truman is about a 2-hour and 15, 20-minute drive. A little further on a Yellow Dog. But that Highland trip next year, it's going to be a beast. If, in fact, baseball and softball is in the same conference as basketball, which you never know. Here's the 3-2. Hit a pretty good way, but foul into the visitors' dugout. That pitch was inside, would have been ball 4, but Blassingame opened the hips and hit it a long way. Almost hit Coach Prince's truck down there. That would be a rough way to start the week. 3-2. Here we go. Right back up the middle, and that's through. Here comes Watkins. She will field it on the ground. Can't make the play in front of her, so that's going to be a 2-0 Star City lead as Watkins just has to throw it into second. She had no chance. That ball was hit slowly enough, and Glover had a good jump, so 2-0. And base runner now, Blassingame at first here in the top of the first inning. I'm assuming that is Aubrey is a sister, a twin sister, or I guess it doesn't have to be a twin, but I'm assuming they are sisters. As she's in the right side, and the first pitch she sees popped up. Back of home plate into the stands, and nobody makes the catch. A little disappointed there. I mean, there was fans everywhere down there. Why did no one make that catch? Wow. Very disappointed, yeah. Very disappointed. Just use a hat. If they'd have been up here to us, we'd have caught it right through the window. So Blassingame's all over the field. One at first, one at the plate. 0-1 count. Avery Hampton in the circle. Here comes the 0-1. It's popped up on the infield. Griffin comes in. Nope, Hampton's going to take control in the circle, and there's 2 outs. That brings Braylon Connett, or Connett. Not sure how to pronounce it. Let's find out how our public address announcer says it. She said Connett, so we're going to say Connett. That's what we're going with. 2 gone here in the top of the first inning. Ricebirds trail it 2-0. 3 hits in this one. And that pitch is in the dirt. They're going to try to advance the runner. Throws not in time. Really good tag by Griffin to make it close. Hosman did a really good job of getting to the ball quickly. It was in the dirt. Throw was on the money. Tag was quick, but Blassingame just beat it. And she's in scoring position now with 2 outs. 1-0 count on the batter. 1-0's popped up in the air, and it's going to fall right in front of Watkins. They're going to try to score the runner from second. Watkins' throw is not in time. Runner is going to try to move up to second. Throw there is not in time, and the merry-go-round continues. 3-0 Star City on an RBI single. Advance on the throw as Conant stands at first base now. It has not been walks. It has not been errors. It has been just hitting the softball. 4 hits in the first inning, and Star City leads it 3-0 for Gracie Riley, the DP. And that pitch is upstairs. She chopped down at it and fouled it down the third base line. The bat looks like a bomb pop. You see that? She's got a bat that looks like a bomb pop. That makes me hungry. Not like the popsicle, you know. No, it's like the popsicle. Or maybe it is loaded. I don't know. We'll see on this one. She fouled that one to the backstop. If she hits one over Burkle Street, it's a loaded bomb pop. It's a loaded bat. But as of right now, it just looks like she pulled it out of the freezer. It's the bomb bat with a lot of pop. That's right. You're a poet, man. You're a poet. 2-strike delivery upcoming from Hampton. She tries to work out of the first inning. Here it is, off speed, hit on the ground to Michaela Hale. She fields, throws across to Zella, and that'll do it for Star City in the first. They push 3 runs across on 4 hits, 1 left stranded. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Stuttgart trails the Bulldogs 3-0. Top of the order when we come back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Lady Bird Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Tohatsu Outboard offers 4-stroke motors from 2.5 to 250 horsepower, and all with a 5-year warranty. Built with their one-of-a-kind direct injection technology, Tohatsu has revolutionized environmental performance, uncompromising their pursuit of durable and lightweight outboard motors. And with interest rates as low as 4.99% financing, now is the time to get a new Tohatsu motor from Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. Call Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart or click on maxbw.com. Great service and competitive prices. Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. The hunt begins here.
A generator is one of those things you never think about until you really need it. Luckily, Durden's in Stuttgart is your local authorized Generac dealer, and that means we can sell, install, and provide warranty service on your generator. And that's a big deal because a generator is a big investment, and you're depending on it to work properly when you need it. Call us today at 673-1356 to learn more about home backup options, portable generators, and even commercial options for your business. And let's save the candlelight dinners just for date night.
Durden's in Stuttgart. Guaranteed comfort since 1960.
Braylon Connett is the pitcher in the circle for Star City. She faces the top of the Lady Bird lineup, Lindley Hossman, Hallie Watkins, and Avery Hampton. If anyone reaches, then Lily Griffin will have an opportunity. Got to dig out of a hole. It's 3-0 on 4 hits, 2 doubles, 2 singles for the Bulldogs. Very talented. Watching them throw it around in pregame warm-ups as well as before this inning. Boy, they got some talent on that dirt right now. As Hossman looks to stay hot in the right-handed box. First pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball at her letters, and it's an 0-1 count. That one had some giddy up on it. Hard to do anything with that pitch above your hands when it's coming at that level of velo. Here's the next one, way outside. Keeping them honest. Throw 1 or 2 to the backstop makes everybody think twice about digging in. That was my philosophy. It wasn't that I was trying not to throw it to the backstop. Sometimes it just happened. You just never knew. Of course, I didn't throw hard enough to scare anybody, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. That one was center cut. Couldn't catch up. Ball and 2 strikes on the Lady Riceburg catcher. The black bottoms, the white tops. As Hossman has to dig out of a 1-2 hole here. Playing her pretty deep in the outfield, and that pitch is down and in. 2-2. Right field maybe straight away. Center's a step or 2 deep. She is in an athletic stance on the pitch. Looks like a track sprinter out there when that pitch is delivered. And she's ready. Looks like she's ready to run the 100. Here's the 2-2 upstairs, and Hossman's gone from an 0-2 all the way to a full count. Leadoff base runner would be great here for Stuttgart in the bottom of the first inning. Ricebird dugout making some noise down that third base line. Here's the 3-2. Swinging a base hit into right field, just out of the reach of the second baseman, and Hossman has a leadoff single. So Stuttgart with a base runner to start things off here. Good at bat by Lindley Hossman. Went with that pitch over the outer half. Courtesy runner, it is Kaylee Smith. Hallie Watkins digs in now. Watkins, part-time in the circle, sometimes in center field. At the plate right now, looking to chase Kaylee Smith around after a leadoff single from Lindley Hossman. Here it comes. Shows bunt and bunts it foul. So Stuttgart with a lot of outs to play with. They're going to try to move the defense around a little bit. See if they can scratch one out here. A lot of softball to play. 3-0 is nothing right now. There's plenty of time. 1 run, 2 runs an inning, you can get it done. As Watkins handles the bat well. Star City brings the corners in. Third baseman, very close. Here's the 1-2, shows bunt, gets it down, and it is a fair ball. And the first baseman drops it. Smith is going to move from first to third. And Stuttgart's got something cooking. Runners at the corners. Boy, I could not tell. It looked like the ball was in foul territory, but our home plate, and Star City's wondering as well. Our home plate umpire says that it was on the fair side of the line, but it sure looked like it was in that right-handed batter's box. I couldn't tell. Okay. The Star City catcher is kind of pointing out where it is that she picked it up, but now the Star City head coach is going to talk to our base ump, see if she can get an appeal here. So as it is right now, runners at the corners, nobody out, and the freshman, Avery Hampton, in the circle. Now we're going to see. As usually happens, there is not going to be a change. So Stuttgart in business here. A single and an error. We'll call that an E3. And Stuttgart in business. Avery Hampton can help herself with a base hit here. Big swing, could tie it up. Here's the first, and there goes the runner. The pitches to the backstop. Nobody advance, or the third baseman, runner third can't advance, but still Stuttgart has runners at second and third now. Well, I tell you what, Hallie looked like she might have been just a tick early on that move to second. As it is, she stands at second. No harm, no foul. So a swing of the bat could make it a 3-2 Star City lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Connett has yet to get an out here, and she's behind Hampton 2-0 as that pitch was well inside. Looks like baseball, softball happening at the Wrench Complex right now. Opening night. I know it's opening night because my niece is playing tonight. Got that sweet left-handed swing. Taught her everything she knows. Here's the 2-0 upcoming from Connett. Here it is, and that's a ball that misses high, and it's 3-0. So Connett has struggled to find the zone here. She has been mostly outside of the zone. Only a few strikes, and all of them really were to Hossman. Very, very patient at-bats from the Ladybirds here as Hampton digs in again. She is in the driver's seat with a 3-0 count. Here it comes. Outside, and the bases are loaded. Connett loads the bases for Lily Griffin, the cleanup batter, as we're going to have another courtesy runner. Number 5, Anijah Wright, will run in place of Avery Hampton as Lily Griffin can open things up for the Ricebirds here in the bottom of the first inning, trailing 3-0 to Star City. Here's the pitch from Connett, and that one's inside. Connett hadn't thrown a strike in a couple of batters. 4 straight to Hampton. We'll see if Griffin is turned loose here with a 1-0, or if they want her to take a strike. Way outside. No point in taking a chance, though, as Connett has yet to find the zone. It's 2-0 now. A walk, of course, would push the first Ricebird run of the game across the plate. And I bet you Griffin is taking all the way here. Connett's not been close with the last two. Ooh, a very generous 2-0 strike call, and that will significantly change the at-bat. That was a very generous 2-0. And now it's 2-1 on the Lady Ricebird shortstop. Let's see if that one singular pitch changes this inning. That one was up. That would have been ball 4, but it's 3-1 on Lily Griffin. Three balls and a strike, nobody out, bases loaded, bottom 1. Stuttgart trailing Star City 3-0. As Connett comes with the 3-1. That's a strike, and the count goes full. Good contingent of Bulldog fans here on a Monday afternoon. Just an hour up the road, or down the road from our perspective, I guess. 3-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, and that's the first out of the bottom of the first inning. Griffin might have expanded there, chased one down and away, and there's one gone. That brings Michaela Hale to the plate. Still, though, less than 2 outs. One swing of the bat could make a crooked number appear on the board here in the bottom of the first for the Ladybirds. Here's the first one to Michaela. Check swing, and he's going to say it was a strike. I don't think it was on the swing. I think it was maybe a little generous over the outer half. 0-1. Smith stands at third. Watkins is at second. Anijah Wright stands at first. Michaela Hale in the box. 0-1 count. Same pitch, same result, 0-2. That is a generous outside corner. Very, very, very generous. As now Michaela Hale has to work with an 0-2. See if she can put one in play. Here it is, swinging a foul. Fouled that one into the net to the right side. And, boy, it's amazing how one pitch can change everything. That's 2-0, which was way outside, makes it 2-1, and eventually Griffin strikes out. Now there's bases loaded and an 0-2 count on the batter. Stuttgart's in danger of not only not getting a crooked number, but maybe not getting a run. That pitch is to the backstop. Maybe effectively wild is how we'll describe Connett here in the first inning. Still 2 outs to work with. Michaela Hale, then Addison Zella on deck. Addison struggled with the bat all season. Hopefully she can come alive here. As Michaela Hale, 1-2, swinging, just got a piece of it. And she'll stay alive to fight again. Star City in pretty tight on the infield. They're opening up a lot of gaps out there. A little surprised. Now they'll back up a little. The shortstop was real tight. Anywhere to go for an out, so you don't have to, even in that run at third, they're not going to try to throw her out at the plate unless it's obvious. They just want to get a run or an out here. They'll concede the run. Although they do have the infield in on the right side. Here's the 1-2, way outside, 2-2. Boy, every Star City defender moves on every pitch. Everybody's jumping around. That center fielders ran a 5K out here just in the bottom of the first. She is back and forth from the dirt all the way into deep center field. As Connett has a 2-2 count on the batter, Michaela Hale. Here it comes. Just misses downstairs, and the count runs to full. And out goes Robertson back at center field. Every pitch, she is almost coming into the dirt and then running all the way back out to within 20 feet of the wall. Here's the 3-2, Michaela Hale. Swinging a drive, right center field. That's got a chance, and it gets down, and it gets to the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Watkins. Hale into second. They're going to try to score right. The throw is in time. And Anijah Wright is cut down at the plate. That's the second out of the inning 2-run score. Wright is thrown out on an 8-6-2, and Michaela Hale moves up to second. Boy, it looked like Wright might have got under that tag. It was close. The throw beat her, but boy, it looked like she might have gotten under the tag. But it is an RBI, 2 RBI double for Michaela Hale. It was really close. It was really close. Stuttgart with a chance to put another across. Runner in scoring position for Addison Zella here with 2 gone in the bottom of the first, and Zella takes a strike. Boy, it's, when you're struggling like Addison has at the plate this year, those borderline calls never seem to go your way. Coach Deaton agrees with me. He thought that she got under the tag as well. We thought she got under the tag, Coach. Oh, and Zella swings and misses at a pitch up and out of the zone, 0-2. Yeah, Coach Deaton walked in and said he thought the girl got under the tag like we did. But it is not to be, and so the Birds are going to have a 2-out base hit to tie the score. Here it is, and that one is in the dirt, 1-2. Need Addison to kind of lean into one here. On deck is Casey Klein. Michaela Hill stands at second. She drove in the 2 Bird runs with a double. As the next one to Zella is way outside, 2-2. Boy, if Addison could work a walk to get Casey to the plate, that would be big. Here's the 2-2. That is a strike 3 called, and that'll do it for Stuttgart in the bottom of the first inning. They push 2 across, strand 1, and they trail Star City 3-2 as we head to the top of the second inning. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening to Ricebird Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Start a rewarding career in healthcare and get into the workforce quickly. Baptist Health College Little Rock will help you find success. Our patient care technician course is only 5 weeks, and qualified students can receive 100% of their tuition and fees paid with a 1-year work contract at Baptist Health Medical Center, Conway, Little Rock, or North Little Rock. Your life-changing career begins at Baptist Health College Little Rock. Visit bhclr.edu for more information.
Express Employment Professionals in Stuttgart has immediate openings for all job types and skill levels. Come in today to apply or go online to expresspros.com. Express is now hiring clerical, office administration, warehouse and production, equipment operators, CDL drivers, welders, machine operators, general labor, and all sorts of skilled trades. Even if you're just thinking about a new job, start your search with Express Employment Professionals at 1904 South Main in Stuttgart. Come in today or go online to expresspros.com.
JC Magnets leads things off for Star City here in the top of the second inning. Avery Hampton in the circle. Stuttgart trails Star City 3-2. The Bulldogs had 4 hits in the first. Stuttgart answered with 2 of their own, a couple of walks. Michaela Hale, 2 RBI double. Drove in the 2 Lady Bird runs as the first pitch to Magnets is fouled off for strike 1. Nigel Wright was cut down at the plate on an 8-6-2. Looked like she might have gotten under it, but the home plate umpire said otherwise. Hampton's 0-1 is on the way. That is a pitch that must have missed a little down. Lindley Hossman's actually going to turn around and ask the home plate umpire where that one missed. She held it there for an extra beat. Might have been down, might have been out. It was close. Ball and a strike now. Hampton ready in the circle. Here's the 1-1, and that is a pitch that is called a strike. 1-2 now. Wish we could give you an update on the Ladybirds soccer match over at Mosley Stadium against Star City, but we do not have access to that scoreboard. I'm sure someone will let us know at some point. Swing and a miss on the 1-2, goes into the dirt. They have to throw it down to first to complete the out, and they throw it into right field. So the defense is a little bit fragile once again as that throw pulled Zella off the bag into right field. That's going to be a strikeout for Hampton, but an E2 on the advance. It's one of those weird KE2s. So that's really doubly bad because it's the bottom of the order. You hate to give the bottom of the order free passes. That one's in the dirt now. This is Emily Martin, the catcher. Then back to the top, and Paisley Martin. So it looks like a couple of siblings for Star City. The Martins and the Blasingame. Magnets at first. Here's the 1-0. That one's popped up on the infield. Hossman calls everyone off and dropped it. Now the runner has to advance to second. The throw is into center field. But luckily, the center fielder backed up the throw. She was standing right on the cut of the grass. So back-to-back errors have resulted in 2 base runners for the Ladybirds. Coach Prince just comes out, and he wants to calm his team down. So a couple of errors now have put 2 runners on with nobody out. Timeout Stuttgart as the Ladybird infield is in the circle. As the 8 and 9 batters, that's what makes it so very difficult, is when the 8 and 9 batters reach on anything other than a hit, setting the table for the top of the order. Paisley Martin bats now the first pitch of the game. She drove into right center field for a double, came around to score on Tori Glover's double that followed. So right now, Coach Prince, again, he is just trying to calm down his defense. It is same thing we saw against McGee on Friday. 6 errors in that one, 2 so far in this one. Stuttgart is just struggling to throw it and catch it today. Stuttgart's down 3-0 in the Star City in the lead. For Star City, that's a really good soccer conference down there. They play really good soccer down there in Star City. Warren, Hamburg Crosset normally have some pretty good clubs. Hamburg specifically, I know. Good soccer down in southeast Arkansas. All right, back to softball. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Top of the order, and Paisley Martin at the plate. First pitch shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a ball. Not totally surprised that they're going to try to bunt up anybody, especially seeing the porous defense for Stuttgart. But Martin did hit one up against the base of the wall last time up. So maybe a little surprised they're not giving her an opportunity to swing away here. They might give her a chance if she gets ahead in the count. We'll see. Here's the 1-0. Shows bunt and bunts it foul, and it's 1-1 now. Ball and a strike. Avery Hampton trying to work around traffic on the base paths with nobody out. Here's the 1-1, and that pitch misses up and in, almost hit her. And it's 2-1. No changes defensively for the Lady Ricebirds here in the top of the second inning. As the 2-1 from Hampton. Shows bunt and kind of slap bunts it to second. Nobody's there, and they're going to try to score the runner from second. Throw has her in a rundown. Let's see if Stuttgart can get her out of the pickle. Back and forth we go. Back and forth we go. Every Ricebird is on the left side of the infield. They still haven't tagged her out, and it's going to be Lily Griffin that finally gets the tag of the base runner Magnets. And there's one out, runners at second and third. That was a lot, and I am in no way going to write down all of those throws. That was a 6, 2, 5, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5. There was all kinds of numbers on that. But the result is a tag out of the base runner and a very questionable decision there by Star City's third base coach. I hate to talk about a coach, but you never make the first out of the inning at home. Not with the middle of your order up. Coach, you need to learn from that. That was a mistake. Stuttgart will take it. Could get a strikeout right here, might get out of the inning. Who knows? Here's the first one on the way to Glover, and Glover hits it right back to the pitcher. They've got the runner dead at the plate, and she is out. 1-2 on the put out. Star City has run themselves out of this inning almost. That was a slap bunt right at Hampton. They broke on contact. Hampton threw to Hussman. Hussman applied the tag, and that'll be a fielder's choice for Glover, a 1-2 put out of Martin, and the Ricebirds are an out of way from a Houdini here in the top of the second. Skinner, he just said, this is an exciting game. Softball can be a really exciting sport. It's, to me, I love me some baseball, but, man, nothing like good softball. You never know what's going to happen. All right, that brings the number 3 batter, Lily Weiss, to the plate. She takes a ball. Weiss popped up to the second baseman her first time up. So runners are at the corners right now, 2 outs, top 2. Stuttgart trails Star City 3-2. As Hampton looks to work the 1-0 to Weiss. Here it is, and it's hit in the air right side, right at O'Neill, and Stuttgart gets out of the inning. Runners at second and third, nobody out, and the Ricebirds somehow get out of the top of the second inning without any runs crossing the plate. 2 errors in the frame does not cost the Birds. And we head to the bottom of the second. Stuttgart's down 3-2, and we'll see if that sparks the offense any when we come back in 1 minute. You're listening to Ricebird Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Hello, this is Jennifer Smith from Wilkerson Jewelers in downtown Stuttgart. Mother's Day and graduation are right around the corner, and there's no better way to celebrate than with a gift that lasts forever. From beautiful diamond jewelry and classic gold pieces for mom to meaningful necklaces, rings, and watches for the graduate, Wilkerson Jewelers has something for every milestone. Stop by and let our team help you find the perfect gift and wrap it up beautifully too. Wilkerson Jewelers in downtown Stuttgart, let us make memories with you.
Hi, this is Lori Ann Brown, and here at Farmers and Merchants Bank, we've been part of the community since 1945, and that means something important. We're locally owned and operated right here in Arkansas. The folks making decisions at our bank live right here. We know the soil, the community, and the value of your word. We combine the best of modern banking with old-fashioned, neighborly trust because our success is tied directly to yours. Come in and talk to a hometown expert. Farmers and Merchants Bank, rooted in Arkansas, growing communities, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Lady Ricebird softball, Stuttgart, with a Houdini in the top of the second inning. 2 runners were on, nobody out, runners at second and third. And somehow, some way, Stuttgart got out of the jam. Star City runs into a couple of outs and then a fly out to right field. Avery Hampton is able to pitch around trouble. And Stuttgart trails by 1 as we head to the bottom of the second. Casey Klein leads things off for Stuttgart, the second baseman. She's been anywhere from top of the order to bottom of the order to middle of the order. She's hit almost everywhere in the order this season. She hit 7th today, and she takes a ball in the dirt. Shiloh O'Neill, Bethany Waddell. If anyone can reach the top of the order, and Lindley Hossman will come to the plate. Stuttgart with 2 errors in the top of the second inning, but did not result in any runs. Star City with an error on the board as well. 4 hits, 1 error. Stuttgart with 2 hits and 2 errors. As that's a check swing and a strike. As that was an excuse me swing from Klein, and it's 1-1 now. Klein back in the box on the from the right side. Here's the 1-1, and it is fouled to the backstop. She was right on that one. But now she's going to have to hit with 2 strikes. Ball and 2 strikes. Bottom 2, bases empty, nobody out. Here it is. Ooh, that one didn't miss by much. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a ground ball to the shortstop. Fields throws and one. No, she dropped it. The first baseman had it pop out of her glove. That's 2 errors on the first baseman for Star City tonight. And Stuttgart has a leadoff base runner. That throw was right in the chest of Chaselyn Blassingame, but it popped out of her glove. E3. And that brings Shiloh O'Neill to the plate. We'll see if Stuttgart shows a bunt or if they let O'Neill swing away here. Waddell on deck. And then the top of the order in Hossman. You would love to have a runner in scoring position when Lindley comes to the plate. First pitch to O'Neill is in the dirt. They're going to try to advance the runner to second, and no throw. The Ricebirds have a base runner in scoring position. The catcher for Star City couldn't handle the ball in the dirt, popped out of her glove. Klein with a good read, and she's able to move up 60. So Shiloh with an opportunity to tie the score with a base hit. 1-0 count on the batter. And that's a swing and a miss and a pitch at the knees, 1-1. Shiloh has got unbelievably strong wrists. She just swings that bat around like it's a toothpick. Now she's ready with the 1-1 as Conant is not yet on the rubber. Now she's ready. As the 1-1's on the way, swinging a drive right side foul. That one almost hit the girls playing down behind the visitor dugout. They were surprised by that big yellow softball. Ball and 2 strikes now. If Shiloh can get the runner to third with less than 2 outs here, just see if we can have a productive out, if nothing else. Here's the 1-2, swinging a foul. She stays alive. O'Neill's produced at the bottom of the Lady Bird order this season. She is, and I'm going to say she hasn't struck out much this year, and she'll strike out here, but she's really put the ball in play this season. She has done a good job of having productive outs. As she awaits the 1-2 from Conant. Here it is, and that pitch is down 2-2. Conant's velocity's there, but the control has not been so far tonight. This game started a few minutes late, 5:02 first pitch, so it's kind of been a long one. It's going to be a long one. As the 2-2 is swung, hit right back up the middle. Conant fields, throws the first. They're going to try to advance the runner to third. They do. It goes into the wall, and that's going to tie the score at 3. Shiloh O'Neill with a productive out advances the runner. The first baseman's throw was in the dirt, and we're tied at 3. That's how the bottom of the order can produce, and that will bring Bethany Waddell to the plate. Great job by O'Neill with a sacrifice 1-3. Another error on the first baseman. She has 3 errors tonight. It is one of those nights you don't want to relive. Bethany Waddell, let's see if she can get something going here. Now they're going to call it an E5. That's being generous. That was an E3. That ball was in the dirt. Not much the third baseman could do about it. That was on the throw. First pitch was a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1 to the Lady Ricebird left fielder. On deck is the top of the order in Hossman. Here's the 0-1. That's a strike. A couple of good pitches from Conant there has Waddell down in the count 0-2. No, there's nobody out. Is there? Yeah, there's nobody out. No, there is. There's a 1-3. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a 1-3. That pitch was down and in. There's a sack 1-3 for O'Neill. So the out was made there, and then the error was made, and that allowed the run to score. You caught me. I wasn't thinking very good. We're trying to make sure our YouTube channel is updated on how many outs there are right now. Conant's going to try to make it 2. She's got a 1-2 count, and that pitch catches the outside corner, and that is a strikeout of Waddell. So second strikeout of the night for Conant, both of them looking, brings Lindley Hossman to the plate, 2 outs, and the base is empty. See if Hossman can start something off here with a 2-out rally. Well, Hossman singled and scored in the first. Led the game off with a nice swing inside out to the right side. First pitch here is fouled off for strike 1. Got in the hole 0-2, battled back 3-2, then drove a fastball up just out of the reach of the second baseman. 0-1 on Hossman as she awaits the delivery from Conant. A lot of room in the gaps. Off speed, and it's going to be a little Texas Leaguer right at the first baseman. That'll do it for Stuttgart. They do push 1 across to tie the score at 3. We head to the top of the 3rd inning. Stuttgart and Star City knotted at 3. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening to Lady Bird Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Carrie Seaman, and I'd like to personally invite you to a special event coming to Stuttgart. Wild Horse Ministries will be at Crosby Arena on Friday, April the 10th at 6:30 p.m. Paul Daly and his family travel from Louisiana sharing the gospel through a unique presentation using horse training. During the evening, they will work with a 2-year-old untamed colt, showing the process of training step by step while relating it to God's Word and the relationship between God and people. It's a powerful and meaningful presentation for families and church groups. Admission is free, and a love offering will be received at the end of the program. ARM 180 will also provide a paid concession stand. Crosby Arena is located at 2216 Highway 63 North in Stuttgart. For more information, call me, Carrie Seaman, at 870-873-4300. What's our favorite word? Yeehaw!
Stuttgart and Star City tied at 3. Avery Hampton on for her third inning of work. No changes defensively for the Lady Ricebirds. And Star City will send 4, 5, and 6 to the plate. Chaselyn Blassingame, Aubrey Blassingame, and Braylon Connett. Chaselyn Blassingame, the first baseman, has had a game to forget, I should say, in the field. She's got 3 errors tonight. But she singled and scored in the first. She is in the middle of this Bulldog lineup. Ricebirds straight away defensively. Zella in tight at first. As Hampton throws the ball into her glove, now she's ready. First pitch is down for ball 1. Evan Watson back at the station on the Country 97.3 board. Andrew Skinner running the EAB Stuttgart YouTube channel. Here on a beautiful Monday afternoon, non-conference softball. Stuttgart and Star City. Here's the 1-0. That one misses up and in, almost hit her. Kind of buzzed her off the plate there. Hampton behind in the count, 2-0 now. Got to come with a strike here, too. Blassingame, and she does, and Blassingame fouls it off down the first base line. 2-1. Halftime on the soccer field, it looks like. The soccer pitch, I guess it's technical there, called the pitch. Either way, it's halftime. As Avery Hampton works the 2-1 to Blassingame. Here it is, off speed, and it is fouled down the first base line. She got all of that one, but she was way out in front. 2-2. I'm calling them twins until somebody tells me otherwise. The Blassingame twins. Here's the 2-2. That one's in the dirt outside, and the count's full. Don't walk that leadoff batter. Got a slight north wind here tonight. Going to knock a ball down to right. As the 3-2's on the way, it's hit in the air right side. Nope, that's to the center fielder. Watkins camps out, makes the catch. 1 out. I thought it was going to the right side. It ended up coming back towards center field. And Watkins with the catch, retiring Blassingame the first. Aubrey Blassingame, the sister. She's the right fielder. She bats now with the bases empty. Blassingame put a ride in it. She hit it hard, but again, that ball to the right side is going to get knocked down. It's not a strong breeze, but it's there. As Hampton works the first one. Here it is, and it is hit to the right side, right out Shiloh O'Neal. She got a bad jump, and it's going to fall in front of her for a 1-out single. O'Neal didn't get a great jump. It may not have mattered. It was hit softly enough. Shiloh was playing pretty deep out there. And so Star City has a 1-out base runner for the pitcher, Braylon Connett, however you say it. Let's see. Let's put her on first. Connett singled and was left stranded at second base back in the first inning. She can help herself here with something in the gap. First one from Hampton is on the way, and it is hit pretty well. Left side. No, not as well as I thought. Waddell camps out underneath it, and there's 2 gone. I thought she hit that one a little harder, but it ended up being to straightaway left field. And Hampton quickly with 2 gone as the DP, Gracie Riley, comes to the plate. Riley grounded out to Michaela Hill over at third base back in the first inning. That, in fact, was the final out of that long first inning. As Hampton, since that first, has settled in a little bit. She's thrown strikes. It's been the defense that let her down in the second, although she did work around a lot of traffic. First one on the way, and that one's inside. comes the 1-0. Hit to Waddell in left, right at her, over her head. Let's see if they try to score the run. Waddell's got it. Griffin on the relay. The throw is not going to happen, and that is going to be a 2-out RBI. I'm not sure. They probably will not rule that an error. It will go down simply as a long, loud RBI double, but it's really more of a play not made. You really would like to have your left fielder make that play for you. But it was right at her, and it was tough. And so that's going to give Star City back the lead, 4-3. And Magnets has a chance to make it a crooked number with a base hit here as she stands in the right-handed batter's box with 2 outs and a runner at second. First pitch from Hampton. Inside. Osman squeezed it an extra beat, thought she might get still a strike. It was off the plate, though, and it's 1-0. There was no doubt Star City was going to try to score that run there. Griffin, if she would have uncorked it, might have had a chance at the plate. I would have liked to have seen her make that throw. But it would have allowed the base runner to move up to third, but with 2 outs, you'd like to see your shortstop try to make a play there. Here's the 1-0. Hit on the ground at Griffin, and nice play, and it's in the dirt, but did Zella pick it up in time? She did. So Zella had it pop out of the glove, but she picked it up, and that's the 3rd out in the top of the 3rd inning. Star City pushes 1 across. They leave 1 stranded. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Bulldogs lead Ricebirds 4-3 back in 1 minute. You're listening to Stuttgart Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Tohatsu Outboard offers 4-stroke motors from 2.5 to 250 horsepower, and all with a 5-year warranty. Built with their one-of-a-kind direct injection technology, Tohatsu has revolutionized environmental performance, uncompromising their pursuit of durable and lightweight outboard motors. And with interest rates as low as 4.99% financing, now is the time to get a new Tohatsu motor from Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. Call Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart or click on maxbw.com. Great service and competitive prices. Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. The hunt begins here.
Like you, Stedman's Ace Hardware is passionate about their community. They support the Lions Club, Fight Like a Kid, and numerous other organizations, including youth, high school, and adult sports programs. Whether helping their neighbors or helping their customers, Stedman's Ace Hardware truly is the helpful place. Shop Weber Grills, Blackstone Griddles, Traeger Pellet Grills and Pellets, and more, and get all the help you need at Stedman's Ace Hardware, 110 South College in downtown Stuttgart. Stedman's Ace Hardware, the helpful place.
Ricebird softball here as they trail Star City 4-3 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Stuttgart sends the 2-3-4 to the plate. Watkins, Hampton, Griffin. Hallie reached on an E3 and came around to score in the first. She leads things off here in the 3rd. As Connett in the circle for her 3rd inning of work. First pitch misses outside. Avery Hampton on deck. Her place in the order was thrown out by the center fielder in the first inning. As Watkins hits it to the left side, it is down. Watkins rounds first. She'll cruise into second. Are they going to try to move her up to third? They will. The throw is not in time, and Stuttgart has a leadoff triple here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Left fielder for the Bulldogs, Magnets, tried to make the play, couldn't quite get there. It rolled to the wall, and the Birds are in business. So Watkins on base for the 2nd time today. I'm going to call it a triple because I don't think we can call that an error. Yep, they called it a hit. I agree. So Avery Hampton can really help herself here. They're going to bring the 3rd baseman in very tight. I don't expect Hampton to bunt. But they've got her in very tight down that 3rd base line. First pitch is down for ball 1. First baseman is not quite as tight. Infield is back. Outfield is back. They're going to concede the run on a ball to the outfield. But a ball hit right at the 3rd baseman, not going to be able to go because she is choking that off at the line for sure. Here's the 1-0. Hampton hits one foul. She took a really big cut. That ball was up, and she was thinking maybe hitting it over the S in softball out there in left center. So 1-1 count on the freshman right-hander, Avery Hampton. On deck is the shortstop, Lily Griffin. 1-1. Here it is. Tipped foul, strike 2. Star City still keeping that third baseman tight, although she's backed up a little bit with 2 strikes. She's still a few steps in front of the bag. A lot of room up the middle. Here's the 1-2 outside. Two and 2. Hampton, like Casey Klein, has been all over the lineup. She hit low and she kind of hit toward the bottom of the lineup on Friday. Here's the 2-2. Frozer with a fastball, and that's the first out of the inning. Hampton knew it. And that'll bring Lily Griffin to the plate. Griffin will not strike out. I'm going to make the call right now. She struck out swinging in the first. She's fixed to put one in play here. Too good of a hitter. Michaela Hill on deck. Let's see if Lily can hit one out of here. I'm not calling a shot, but I do feel like Lily's going to put a charge into one here. Here's the first. Fouls it off the end of her bat to the backstop. Big rip there, 0-1. Michaela Hill on deck. She has the big swing, a 2 RBI double back in the first. Conant trying to work around a leadoff triple. She got Hampton to strike out. Here's the 0-1. That one catches the bottom of the zone, and Griffin's going to have to work out of an 0-2. Can't strike out here. She's not going to. She's not going to. I'm confident. I've seen her hit the ball too hard too many times. She is not overpowered in this matchup. Some other girls in the lineup might be overpowered by Conant, not Griffin. Top of the order can hit this girl. 0-2. Don't get fooled. Here it is. To the backstop. Are they going to try to score the runner? No, they're going to leave Watkins at third. Well, that's what Conant does. She uncorks one to the backstop about 1 out of 10. It has been a lot of trips to the net for the catcher. That's Martin. One of the Martin twins. I believe we're going to say they got 2 twins. Some Martin twins and some Blassingame twins. 1-2. Come on, Lily. Here it is. That's a base hit, and that's a tie game. Griffin puts it to the wall. She's going to cruise into second, and we're tied at 4. I'm not a prophet, but I've watched enough softball to know when somebody's due, and Lily Griffin was due. So the Ricebirds have the merry-go-round working. Griffin chases home Watkins, and let's see if Michaela Hale can stay hot and give the Birds the lead here. That pitch was way up, and Griffin knew what to do with it. So Michaela bats with a runner in scoring position, 1 out. Need to do damage here. Takes one down and in. Once you get past Michaela in the lineup really thins out a little bit. First 5 girls in the lineup swing the bat well. Michaela needs to recognize that. She may need to expand here. She's in the driver's seat, 1-0. Lily Griffin at second. That pitch misses, but that's a pitch that I would love to see the senior drive the other way. That one was up and out over the plate. It's a good take if you're at the top of the order. But when you're in the bottom of the middle, boy, you've really got to be aggressive with a RBI opportunity. 3-0. I don't think they're pitching around her because I don't think Conant has enough control to do that. But I wouldn't be shocked if they don't give Michaela Hill a pass here with the bottom of the order on deck. We'll see. Here's the 3-0. Boy, that's a middle fastball. And I completely understand 3-0, the traditional thing is to take, but if I'm talking to my meat of the order, I'm wanting Michaela Hale to unleash on that 3-0 in this situation. She's got another opportunity, 3-1, and she hits one to the right side, right at the second baseman. That advances the runner. So a solid contact, but right at the second baseman, and there's 2 gone. But still, that does put the base runner 60 feet away. Stuttgart can be very aggressive. Connett's been known to uncork one to the backstop. So we'll call that a sack 4-3 for the second out. Addison Zella at the plate. We'll see how aggressive Stuttgart wants to be with the go-ahead run 60 feet away. Anything in the dirt, Griffin needs to get a good jump. Here's the first one to Zella. As she check swings, takes a strike. Stuttgart's pushed one across in the third. Don't want to leave one stranded. Casey Klein in the on-deck circle. Here's the 0-1. Very generous strike call there, makes it 0-2. Here's the 0-2 to Zella, and she hits one right back to the pitcher, who will field and throw to first for the final out. Stuttgart pushes one across. They strand one, and we're tied at 4 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Back in 1 minute, Star City will send the 9-1-2 to the plate when we come back in 60 seconds. This is Ricebird Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
We're Pearson Company, and we can build you the pre-engineered steel building you need with features to reduce energy and maintenance costs, yet custom designed exactly to your requirements without added cost or extra time. Whether it's a complete turnkey project for your office or factory or a warehouse, Pearson Company offers you more for your building dollar. With over 30 years of time-tested experience and professional service, you can count on Pearson Company. Pearson Company, 209 North Burkle in Stuttgart. Call 673-6984.
Hi, this is Emily Smith from Coker-Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop in downtown Stuttgart, calling all class of 2026 graduates. Graduation gift registration is now open at Coker-Hampton, and we're ready to help you celebrate this exciting milestone. We've curated a wonderful selection of gifts you'll actually use and love, from decor to dorm and apartment essentials. Enjoy treats and refreshments while you register, and you'll also be entered in a prize drawing. Appointments are encouraged, so call or text the gift shop at 870-659-0777 and let us help you get ready for graduation at Coker-Hampton.
We've got a good one going here on a Monday afternoon in Stuttgart. 4-4, Star City and the Ladybirds tied up on the softball field. Bottom of the order, Emberly Martin leading things off. Then the top. Emberly reached on an E2 back in the second. Second of 2 errors in that inning that somehow Stuttgart got out of without giving up a run. Here's the first one from Avery Hampton off speed. My goodness, where did that miss? It didn't miss up. It might have missed in. Maybe. That was really close. 1-0 count as Hampton looks to work her 4th inning here. That's a base hit in the left. So the bottom of the order gets on for the top. That's how you put crooked numbers on the board, and Paisley Martin will come to the plate. She's been on base twice, a double and a single. Scored a run in the first, was left stranded in the second. I just would be shocked if they bunt her here. We'll see. I know in softball it is certainly traditional that you bunt any chance you get, especially a team like Stuttgart that struggles throwing and catching. But, man, the top of the order, the way they swing the bat, I just don't know if I'm bunting here. We'll see. Stuttgart not convinced of the bunt. Now Michaela will come out. They're not bunting. The pitch is in the dirt. Good job, Hossman, to keep the runner at first. So Michaela wasn't convinced on the pitch. She ended up creeping in a little bit. Martin never showed. And she's ahead in the count 1-0. The other Martin stands at first base. She reached with a leadoff base hit as the 1-0 is on the way. No bunt, takes the ball down as Hossman can't handle, or does a good job, I should say, of handling that ball in the dirt again. Looks like Avery kind of guided those last 2 a little bit. Now 2-0. Star City can be very judicious here. I bet they give her a pitch before putting the take sign on. Let's see. Top of the order. 2-0, swinging a drive, right side, base hit. Here comes O'Neal. She fields, throws in. They're going to go first to third on the hit, and that's the way it ends. First and third, nobody out. Good base running. Nice job, Shiloh O'Neal, to keep it in front. That one goes to the wall. They run for a while, but Star City with something cooking here. Nobody out, 2 on. And Tori Glover. Glover doubled home Martin in the first. She reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Here's the pitch, and she shows bunt and bunts it foul. Again, well, I totally understand why you put the bunt down, but, man, why give up an out? If I'm Stuttgart, even though it is the middle of the innings, I would almost exchange the out for the run here. Star City's not shown the ability to keep Stuttgart off the base paths. I'm not totally against trying to throw out a base runner at first here if she goes. Outs are precious. Here's the 0-1. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch is inside, and it gets away from Hossman, so that allows Martin to advance. Now there are 2 runners at second and third. Not likely to see a bunt here, although Stuttgart will bring the third baseman in very tight. Zella is in tight at first. Stuttgart looks like they're going to try to get the out if the ball is hit to the corners. Here's the 1-1, shows bunt, bunts it back to the pitcher. She looks, throws to first, gets the out there. Zella's relay to the plate is not in time, and it is a 5-4 Star City lead. So Star City really executed that perfectly. Stuttgart did a good job. Hampton looked the runner back for a moment, and Zella's throw was a good one, but it was a little bit late, and that allowed the base runner to advance second to third. So Star City has a runner 60 feet away, 1 out. And the middle of the order, and Lily Wiest at the plate. Little surprised they bunted there, but it worked. So sack 1-3 on the put out of Glover. Martin advances, and Martin scores. Wiest has popped up to second and flied out to right. Base hit would give Star City a 2-run lead. She shows bunt, gets it down. It's a good one, and nobody is going to be able to make a play on that one. That was a perfectly placed bunt, and there's runners at the corners. It was just hard enough to get it away from Hossman, but not hard enough to allow Hale to make a play. So everybody's safe. And Wiest is on for the first time today for Chaselyn Blassingame. Blassingame flied out to center, deep center in the third, singled, drove home a run, and scored in the first. Shows bunt, gets it down right to Hampton. Hampton fields her position, throws to Klein at first. That's going to score the run. They're going to advance first to third on the throw, and that will make it a 6-4 Star City lead with 2 outs now. So Star City playing small ball here in the top of the fourth. They've scored 2. As that is a sack 1-3, and that brings Aubrey Blassingame to the plate. She'll have to get a base hit to score the run. So a leadoff single, 2 leadoff singles, followed by a sack 1-3, a single, and a sack 1-3 results in 2 Star City runs. They lead at 6-4 in the top of the 4th inning. Here's the first one. And that is right at Griffin, and that's the end of the 4th inning. Star City pushes 2 across. They strand 1, and we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Bulldogs lead Ricebird 6-4. Back in 1 minute. You're listening to Stuttgart Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Are you tired of unreliable internet service? Do you constantly run over your data plan? Are you having trouble getting internet service where you live? With TechStream high-speed internet, you'll get consistent high speeds and low latency that doesn't stop at city limits. TechStream high-speed internet is perfect for homes, small and large businesses, farmers, and hunting clubs. You'll be able to stream, game, and surf with no interruptions. Servicing Arkansas, Lone Oak, Prairie, Jefferson, and Lincoln counties. TechStream is your locally owned and operated high-speed internet solution. Call toll-free 866-268-0101 or visit TechStream.net.
Renting equipment for your next project is easy when you call U.S. Irrigation Distributors in Stuttgart and DeWitt. Trenchers, log splitters, generators, and pump sets can all be rented from U.S. Irrigation, where you'll find the farmer's favorite lineup of equipment and supplies. Levee gates, steel, PVC, and poly pipe, supplies like drip oil, Dan's boots with chaps, the original muck boot, and Twisted X footwear. It's all at U.S. Irrigation Distributors, Highway 165 north of Stuttgart, or at 550 Highway 165 north in DeWitt.
Lady Ricebirds trail 6-4, bottom of the fourth inning. Casey Klein, Shiloh O'Neill, and Bethany Waddell. Bottom of the bird order, then the top, and Lindley Hossman if anyone can reach. Casey reached on an E3 in the second. She came around to score. This is her second at bat of the afternoon. Star City scored 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and the first pitch to Casey is in the dirt. Ricebirds have 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Star City still in front of Stuttgart, but the Birds have put 2 across now on the soccer field. Star City with 5. Here's the pitch to Klein. She fouls it off. 1-1 count on the Lady Birds' second baseman. Klein, of course, one of, I think, 2 seniors. No, maybe 3. I think Bethany Waddell's a senior also. And Shiloh O'Neill, I think, is a senior, isn't she? That pitch misses outside, 2-1. So several seniors on the roster this season. It's a change from last year. It was a very young team the last 2 seasons. As Klein awaits the 2-1 from Conant. That one almost hit her. Oh, it did hit her. They're going to say a hitter on the foot. So that's a leadoff base runner. Klein on for the second time today. First time anyone's been hit this afternoon. Shiloh O'Neill at the plate. We'll see. Coach Prince wants her to bunt. I would not be completely shocked to see Shiloh swing away. But we'll see. Bottom of the order, you certainly want to get into scoring position. Casey Klein is, now we're having a conversation. They're saying that Casey thought he hit her in the foot. The home plate umpire is apparently not saying that she did. Now he's saying that it is a 3-1 count, and Klein has to go back to the plate. So we're going to have a conversation between our home plate umpire, who quite honestly has struggled here this afternoon, and Coach Prince is going to come up and talk to, now our umpires are going to get together. The count is 3-1 if he did not say it hit her in the foot. So Casey's going to have to go back to the plate. 3-1 count on the batter. And to be fair, it may not have hit her in the foot, but one of the things the home plate umpire's got to do a better job of is communicate. You communicate in that situation, and you own your call, and you don't have too much of an argument. Well, you'll have an argument because it's competition. There's going to be arguing. So now Casey's got a 3-1. Conant looks to deliver. Here it is, and it doesn't matter because she uncorked another one to the backstop. So now Casey will make the trip down to first base for the second time in this at-bat. So that was a whole lot of to-do at about nothing, other than I have to change my scorebook from saying HBP to BB, base on balls. I got to change my book, and I've been using a pen, which is against the rules, I guess. All right, so here we go. Shiloh O'Neill at the plate. She shows bunt, pulls it back, and that might be the best pitch she'll get to bunt all season. Takes a strike. There's no doubt this is a sacrifice. Shiloh had that bat head out very early. Star City brings the corners in as Casey Klein stands at first. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt late, pulls it back, and takes a pitch outside. So she's going to get that bat out a little quicker. That first time she was out there for a long time. That time she kind of jabbed at it. 1-1 on the Lady Bird right fielder. Bethany Waddell's in the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-1. Shows bunt and takes a pitch outside. They're going to throw behind the runner, but Klein is easily back in time. 2 balls and a strike. Now Shiloh's going to show and pull back and show, so it's more of a sacrifice look now. She's just kind of messing with them. Here's the 2-1. Pulls it back, takes one downstairs, 3-1. This might be just showing bunt and pulling back on purpose. I'm not sure. She doesn't really seem too convicted in that bunt attempt. Very deep in the outfield right now. Corners in for Star City. 3-1 count. Conant is in danger of walking the number 8 batter here. Pulls it back, and she did. Back-to-back walks in the bottom of the order, and the Birds are in business. Almost assuredly, Bethany Waddell will be showing bunt here. And And Star City's going to call time. They want to have a conversation with Connett and the entire infield. So Stuttgart with something stirring here in the bottom of the fourth. Back-to-back walks to Casey Klein and Shiloh O'Neal in the 7 and 8 spots. Puts runners at first and second, nobody out for Bethany Waddell in the 9 hole. And then, of course, the top of the order, and Lindley Hossman is on deck. Stuttgart trails it by 2, 6-4. Birds have scored in every inning. One crooked number, that was in the first. Star City put 2 across in the 4th to take the lead. As Bethany Waddell will stroll to the plate. Shiloh O'Neal at first, Casey Klein at second. As Waddell awaits the pitch from Connett. Shows bunt. Gets it down. It's a good one. Right at the third baseman. That does the job. It's a sacrifice 5-3. Everybody moves up. So Waddell does her job. And now the top of the order has an opportunity to drive in some runs. Lindley Hossman at the plate with 1 out. That 1 through 5 in Stuttgart's order is dangerous, very capable of scoring runs, but Stuttgart's got to do a lot of damage. And when the opposition gives the bottom of the order free bases, Stuttgart can put crooked numbers up quick. Let's see if they can do it here in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch to Hossman. Fouls it off. Connett has been the pitcher in the circle from the first inning for Star City. No action in the bullpen as she looks to work around a 2-out or 1-out base runners here. Here it is to Hossman. That is a ball. That one's been inconsistent at best. That pitch right there has been a strike. It's been a ball. I had to be real. Did he call that a strike? Okay. I was going to because he's called it a strike today. That one, that's the pitch that's been very inconsistent. That one up and away. In fact, he kind of changing it bad earlier today with one of those pitches. That one's in the dirt. Good job by the catcher, Martin, to keep it in front. Stuttgart will be very careful with the top of the order up. They won't run into any outs, or at least I hope they don't. As the 2-1 is the count on Stuttgart's catcher. Hallie Watkins on deck. She hit one a long way in the third. Here's the next. Shows bunt. Pulls it back. Takes the ball. So 3 balls and a strike. Here's the next one to Connett. Here it is. And that high pitch misses the top of the zone, and the bases are loaded. Courtesy runner for Hossman will be Kaylee Smith. So Smith is at first, O'Neal is at second, Casey Klein is at third, and Hallie Watkins is at the plate. 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning, Birds trail Star City 6-4. See if Watkins can jump on a fastball here. In the dirt. Well, it might not have been in the dirt, but it was down and in. Nowhere to put her. 1 ball on the Lady Ricebird center fielder. Avery Hampton in the on-deck circle. Then it is Lily Griffin and Michaela Hale. So the heart of the order for Stuttgart. Got to do damage here. A lot of damage. If you miss this opportunity, you may not have a better one today. That's a strike, but that's a good take on a 1-0. That pitch wasn't one that Watkins could do much with. It was a pitcher's pitch on 1-0. 1-1. Stuttgart's dugout has gotten a little bit lively over there as the 1-1 is on the way. Swing and a miss. That was another pretty well-placed pitch from Connett. And Watkins has to work with 2 strikes here as the count goes to 1-2. Watkins steps out. Now she's ready. Connett off the rubber. In fact, she's almost out of the circle. Now she's in, ready to go. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a ground ball. That is fair. That's going to score one. Here comes O'Neal. They're going to send her. The throw's not in time. Everybody's safe, and we're tied at 6. Hallie Watkins pulls one just inside of the third base bag, and we are tied at 6. Runners at second and third, and Avery Hampton at the plate. Watkins with a couple of big blows here this afternoon. Star City doesn't think it was fair. They thought it was on the foul side of the bag, and it was close. I'll be the first to tell you, but it was close. Star City very disappointed in our home plate umpire here this afternoon, but he thought that it went over the bag. I did too. I thought it just barely went over the top of that third base bag, but as it is, it doesn't matter. It's 6-6, and the Ricebirds are still in business. Hampton in the box, ready to help herself. First pitch she sees is fouled off out of play. Smith is the base runner at third. Hallie Watkins stands at second. Middle of the order for Stuttgart. Got to get more runs here. Heart of the order, middle innings. Stuttgart's got 5 hits today. It's been Connett that's given them some free bases. That pitch misses outside. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to Hampton. Swinging a ground ball in the hole. Shortstop Fields throws across the diamond. It is in time, but Stuttgart scores the run on a sac 6-3. Watkins moves up to third. That was a heck of a play by the shortstop. That ball was deep in the hole. She made the play in a strong throw to get Hampton by a step. Tip of the cap to Paisley Martin out there. She just saved potentially a run, maybe more. But Stuttgart has taken their first lead of the afternoon at 7-6 on an RBI ground out by Hampton. And it doesn't get any easier. Stuttgart's best bat is up with a runner at third. If I'm Star City, I'm walking her. Here's the first one to Griffin. She hits it in the air. Right at the center fielder, tracks back, makes the catch. No, she dropped it. She dropped it. And Griffin will cruise into second, and the Birds lead at 8-6. Griffin jumped on that first pitch fastball, hit it a long way. It looked like the center fielder had it all the way, but it popped out of her glove as she ran into the wall, and Stuttgart has a runner in scoring position for Michaela Hale. So that's going to have to go down as a, well, they're going to rule it a hit. Okay, we'll rule it a hit. It's a double. And Michaela Hale's at the plate. She swung the bat well today, and the first pitch she sees is just outside of the zone for ball one. Again, we're back in that same situation we were in the third. The lineup really falls off once you get past Michaela. She's got to be aggressive up there with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. I mean, if I'm Star City, I got a free base. I'm not throwing her anything to hit. Here's the 1-0. Fouls it off out of play, 1-1. Win the war. Don't worry about this battle. We'll see how the Bulldogs play it, though. They got a 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1 to Michaela. That one misses down and in for a ball, 2-1. Boy, if they go 3-1, I would definitely walk her. There's just no reason when the bottom of the order is over to keep the bat in the hands of Michaela Hale, who has burned you for 2 base hits and 2 RBIs today. Here's the 2-1. There it is, right side, but it's right at the right fielder, and she dropped it. It popped out of her glove, got a terrible jump, and that's 3 runs across the board. 5 in the inning, and the Birds lead at 9-6. The outfield has let down Connett and the Bulldogs as right fielder Blassingame got a horrible jump on that Texas leaguer to right field. It popped out of her glove, and Michaela Hale drives home another one, and again, should have walked her. Coach, should have walked her. So Hale stands at first as the first pitch Zella sees is grounded right to Blassingame at first, and that'll do it for Stuttgart in the bottom of the 4th inning. But not before the Ricebirds score 5 to take a 9-6 lead as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Back in 1 minute. You're listening to Stuttgart Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
At Southern Bancorp, we are wealth builders for everyone. We see building wealth as helping people succeed in creating strong financial futures. For some, it's having tools to build credit and buy a first home. For others, working with our award-winning SBA team to launch or grow a small business. And still others might use our unique savings plan today to save for tomorrow's dreams. Wherever you are in your wealth building journey, Southern Bancorp can help. Stop by or visit banksouthern.com to get started. Southern Bancorp, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Express Employment Professionals in Stuttgart has immediate openings for all job types and skill levels. Come in today to apply or go online to expresspros.com. Express is now hiring clerical, office and administration, warehouse and production, equipment operators, CDL drivers, welders, machine operators, general labor, and all sorts of skilled trades. Even if you're just thinking about a new job, start your search with Express Employment Professionals at 1904 South Main in Stuttgart. Come in today or go online to expresspros.com.
Ricebirds with 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning to take a 9-6 lead heading to the top of the 5th. This has been a good one tonight. There's been some mistakes, a lot of errors, a lot of plays not made, but both teams very competitive, a lot of energy on the field this afternoon. Avery Hampton in the circle. First pitch she sees is hit right off the end of the bat. Zella fields her position, and there's one out. That was a cue ball right off of the end of Connett's, I believe that was Connett, right off the end of her bat. And that will bring Riley to the plate. Riley grounded out to the third baseman, doubled, and was stranded at second in the third. She bats with one out and the base is empty here at the top of the 5th. First one from Hampton is an off-speed pitch that's hit into left field for a base hit. Let's see if they try to extend this to a double. They will not, as Waddell gets it in quickly. So a one-out base runner as Hampton tried to pull the string, but left it up. And that brings Magnets to the plate. Definitely want to get Magnets and Martin because you don't want to get back to the top of the order with runners on base. Need to do your work here at the bottom of the order. Magnets grounded out to the shortstop in the third, and she takes a ball downstairs. As Stuttgart kind of expecting the bunt here, Michaela Hale way down the line. Star City bunted them to death in the 4th. It was 3 sack 1-3s that ended up, two sack 1-3s that ended up pushing 2 across. Here's the 1-0. Pop up. And it's going to be out of play. That lady right there never moved. There's a lady on the front row that ball missed her by about 8 inches, and she never saw it. She still doesn't know how close she came to having a softball hit the top of her head. That would have hurt. Yeah, the gentleman beside her didn't give her much help either. He just kind of watched it. 1-1, here it is. Off speed, pulled the string, swing and a miss. I tell you what, Avery has not gotten any strikeouts tonight. Literally, 0. But she has been all over the plate, pitch to contact, and has gotten just enough help from her defense to keep Stuttgart in it. She hadn't walked anybody either, though, and that's the big thing. Not a walk tonight, as that pitch just misses off the outside corner. 2-2. I'm going to double check, make sure I'm right about that. Yeah, Avery has not given up a free base yet. It has been hits and errors that have resulted in Star City's base runners. So good on the freshman. Of course, Hallie Watkins is available. She's in center field right now. See if she comes on to finish this one out at some point. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. She struck her out. No, now they got them in a rundown. Throw to second. Oh, my goodness, we got to know the situation. So Star City kind of lost control for a moment there. The ball was in the dirt. There was one out, but first base was occupied. Hossman threw down to first. Zella tagged unnecessarily because the first base was occupied. Then the base runner got caught off between first and second, and Stuttgart did not throw down to complete the tag. That should have been a double play, but now Star City has 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. So a whole lot of crazy happened right there. And the first pitch is inside to Martin. This is the bottom of the order. This is a huge at-bat right here. So far tonight, defensively, this is the biggest at-bat of the game as Stuttgart is trying to keep the top of the order on deck here in the top of the 5th. 1-0 count on the batter. Here it is. Pitch misses down and away. Hey, throw her a meatball. You cannot let Martin, the other Martin, come to the plate with runners in scoring position. No free passes. Man, Stuttgart just kind of lost their head there. That would have been a K-2-3-6 double play. You don't see that very often. Here's the 1-0. Oh, it's hit well. Left field. Waddell drifts, and makes the catch on the warning track, and that'll do it for Star City in the top of the fifth. No runs on, one hit, one left on base. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Stuttgart leads at 9-6. You're listening to Rice Bird Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Hi, this is Lorianne Brown, and here at Farmers and Merchants Bank, we've been part of the community since 1945, and that means something important. We're locally owned and operated right here in Arkansas. The folks making decisions at our bank live right here. We know the soil, the community, and the value of your word. We combine the best of modern banking with old-fashioned, neighborly trust because our success is tied directly to yours. Come in and talk to a hometown expert. Farmers and Merchants Bank, rooted in Arkansas, growing communities, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Do you know how much life insurance your partner has? What company is it with? Do you have life insurance? Is it through your employer only, or do you have a policy that you own? This is Holly Brothers, and as a life insurance agent, it is my responsibility to discuss the types of coverage available to you and put a plan in place for when your employer no longer provides coverage. Life insurance costs more as we age, so don't wait to apply. Let's lock in your rate today and save. Give Keith or myself a call at Connection Insurance, 870-673-9249.
Yep. Rice Birds nearly batted around in the fourth, so Casey Klein will lead things off here in the fifth. Star City put one on, then a nice play in front of the wall by Bethany Waddell ended the frame. And, boy, the big thing is that strand at the top of the order on deck. So Stuttgart will have to get through the top of the order in the sixth, but there's no base runners, so you don't have to worry about that. So Stuttgart's played well today. Casey Klein started things off back in the fourth inning with a walk to lead off. As 7, 8, 9 in the top for Stuttgart. Connett, back in the circle. First pitch to Klein is hit on the ground to the right side. Second baseman Fields flips it to first. That's the first out. And that is a 4-3 putout of Casey Klein. Shiloh O'Neal at the plate now. She walked and scored back in the fourth. And again, I've talked about Shiloh quite a bit. She swings the bat better than you realize. She doesn't strike out a lot. She puts the ball in play, makes the defense make plays, productive outs. We saw that earlier in the game. She had a nice sack 1-3 that ended up allowing a run to score. As the first pitch she sees is a strike. But in the second, Casey Klein reached on an E3, then advanced, and Shiloh sacked her up to third, and then a base hit by Lindley Hossman scored her. So, man, you can't defend a strikeout. And, boy, that's a good pitch there, 0-2 now. See if O'Neal can put it in play here. I was just talking her up, talking about how she never strikes out. Don't make me a fool here, Shiloh. Right at the second baseman. Hit it hard, but hit it right at her, and there's two gone. So, once again, good job putting it in play. Nice play by the second baseman. L4 on that put out, and that brings Bethany Waddell to the plate. Same way, Waddell had a very nice at bat back in the fourth after Klein and O'Neal reached. Waddell moved him up on a sac 5-3, a sacrifice bunt, and that allowed the top of the order to do work. Hossman and Watkins and Hampton chase some runs home. So it's going to have to be a two-out rally if it's going to happen here. 2 outs, bases empty, 0-1 count now on the Lady Bird left fielder. Waddell back from injury, only for a couple of weeks now. Here's the pitch from Connett. Right side, foul. Hit it pretty well, kind of a check swing. Hit it right on the sweet spot, though, and kind of jumped over there toward Coach Johnson in that first base dugout, or box, I'm sorry. Oh, 2 misses. As Connett looks to work her first 1, 2, 3 inning of the game, actually. Stuttgart's had base runners every frame. Here comes the 1-2, and Waddell checks swings, and she fouled it off. I don't know how she fouled that ball off. That ball was in the dirt. Just got a piece of it. One, two. Off speed, stayed back, fouled it off. Waddell ready at the plate for the 1-2 from Conant. Off speed, hit in the air, right side. Back goes the second baseman. In comes the right fielder. She dropped it. Waddell's going to try to stretch it into second, and she gets thrown out. So Waddell very aggressively tries to advance on an E9, but the right fielder Blasingame picked it up, threw her out at second. So that is an E9, 9-2 putout, and that'll do it for the Birds in the fifth. We head to the top of the sixth inning. Stuttgart leads at 9-6. Top of the order at the plate when we come back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Ricebird Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Hello, this is Kyle Stovison with Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services in Stuttgart. If you're looking to purchase or refinance farm real estate, equipment, cattle, or need capital for your crop operating expenses, we finance it all and share our profits through our patronage program. At Ag Heritage, we have friendly loan officers, competitive rates, and most of all, a lender who provides you with a financing package tailor-made to fit your individual needs. Please contact Kevin Wingfield or myself, Kyle Stovison, in Stuttgart at 870-673-1558. Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services is an equal housing lender.
Blue Seal Petroleum in DeWitt and Stuttgart stocks a huge selection of tires for the farm and the family with interest-free financing for up to 6 months. When you're ready for tires for your car, truck, or SUV, call Blue Seal. With brands like Cooper, Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and Firestone, you'll always get the best tires at the best price at Blue Seal. When you need new tires, Blue Seal Petroleum on South Whitehead Drive in DeWitt, 870-946-2281, or on South Park Avenue in Stuttgart, 870-673-3126.
Hi, this is Emily Smith from Coker-Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop in downtown Stuttgart. Calling all class of 2026 graduates. Graduation gift registration is now open at Coker-Hampton, and we're ready to help you celebrate this exciting milestone. We've curated a wonderful selection of gifts you'll actually use and love, from decor to dorm and apartment essentials. Enjoy treats and refreshments while you register, and you'll also be entered in a prize drawing. Appointments are encouraged, so call or text the gift shop at 870-659-0777 and let us help you get ready for graduation at Coker-Hampton.
Tohatsu Outboard offers 4-stroke motors from 2.5 to 250 horsepower, and all with a 5-year warranty. Built with their one-of-a-kind direct injection technology, Tohatsu has revolutionized environmental performance, uncompromising their pursuit of durable and lightweight outboard motors. And with interest rates as low as 4.99% financing, now is the time to get a new Tohatsu motor from Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. Call Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart or click on maxbw.com. Great service and competitive prices. Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. The hunt begins here.
Ricebirds for the second inning today worm their way out of a jam. 1 run crossed for Star City, but it could have been much worse. An L4 followed by an L4U unassisted double play gets the Birds out of the jam, and Stuttgart still has that 9-7 lead. Lindley Hossman, first pitch she sees, is grounded to the third baseman, throws across the diamond, and she got her by a step. Nice play there by Star City's Lily Wiest. She backhanded that right in front of the bag. 5-3 on the put out of Hossman. Boy, it'd be nice if Stuttgart could get that run back. Star City will send 6, 7, and 8 to the plate in the top of the 7th inning, trailing by 2 at best. Maybe Stuttgart can add a few more here. Watkins at the plate, takes the ball high. She has swung it well tonight. I've got her at 2 for 3. She reached on an error in the first, doubled her last, actually tripled in the third, doubled in the fourth. She scored 3 runs today. So Hallie has had a very, very good afternoon. Takes that one downstairs 2-0. Avery Hampton in the on-deck circle, Lily Griffin. If anyone can reach, boy, love to see Lily come back to the plate. She had the big swing back in the third. And the fourth, actually. She's driven in a couple. Here's the 2-0. Watkins hits it in the air, and that's a base hit in the left field. Hallie is 3 for 4 today. I do like Hallie in the top of the order. Really like this combo, this 1-2 combo they got started out here with Hossman and Watkins. A lot of potential to get on base there. That brings the freshman Avery Hampton to the plate. Avery, what has she done today? She has walked, struck out, and sacrificed. So an 0 for afternoon, but she could make up for it with one swing here. Shows bunt, pulls it back. There goes the runner. The throw is not in time, and that's a stolen base for Hallie Watkins. Boy, I want to see her slide next time. Pitch was a strike, 0-1 on the batter. Of course, no matter what Avery does at the plate, she has been masterful in the circle this afternoon. Lily Griffin's in the on-deck circle. Unless something crazy happens, she'll come to the plate with a chance to put a run on the board. Here's the 0-1 to Avery. She hits it in the air left field. Chases back the left fielder. It's got a chance. It's out of here. Avery Hampton gives Stuttgart an 11-7 lead on a 2-run bomb that almost got into Burkle Street. Hampton, the MVP tonight as the freshman, throws the Birds on her shoulders. As that high fastball was hit a long way here on Easter Monday. So Stuttgart has exploded here today. That is 11 runs. They've got 9 on the board. It should be 11. It will be in a moment. And, boy, the trouble's not done yet. The middle of the order's still at the plate. Lily Griffin and then, of course, Michaela Hale. Both have swung the bat well today. That ball got out of here quick. First pitch to Griffin is outside. Can't say enough for the performance this season by the freshman, Avery Hampton. She's been good all year, but today has definitely been her masterpiece, one might say. Here's the 1-0 to Griffin. She hits it to the right side. Hit pretty well. If it's fair, it's trouble, but it's foul. One hop the wall, but a good 7 or 8 feet foul. Not a lot of foul territory here at the softball field. We got a ton of it over at the baseball field. Not near as much here. One strike. Yeah, we have yet to see a home run on the baseball field, have we? Here's the next one to Griffin. That one was about 40 feet. Bounced it up there. I tell you what, we've got a new pitcher, too. I have failed to point that out. Lily Wiest came in this inning. Boy, she was greeted unceremoniously by Avery Hampton. Here's the 1-1 to Lily Griffin. Griffin hits it to the right side, foul. Actually, more so to the backstop, I guess. 2 strikes now on Stuttgart's shortstop. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but it is 6, 7, and 8 coming to the plate for Star City in the top of the 7th. See if the Birds send the freshman out or if they let Hallie Watkins close it out. Here's the 1-2. That one's in the dirt, 2-2. Somebody went and got that softball. Must have been in the ditch. I'm not sure who that is. Yeah, we got some little fella out there that went and chased down Avery Hampton's home run. I think he got it. Can't really tell. No, he's trying to jump over the ditch. Did he make it? All right, nobody hit the kid in the – that's a line drive right at the center fielder. Nice catch. Hit it pretty well, but hit it right at the center fielder. She made a nice snow cone grab. Yeah, he got it. Not sure. Is that Coach Prince's kid? Okay. He had to now we're going to have the officials get together. They're going to make sure that it was a catch. It was definitely a catch. That ball didn't hit the ground. Griffin's going to stand at first, but there's no doubt in my mind that ball was caught. I can't imagine. They did call her out, didn't they? Did they call her out? Yeah, she was out. Yeah, okay, there we go. They're gonna make the change. He was right. She was out. Our home plate umpire made the call, which was kind of unique. So there is now 2 outs. That was a really nice play by the center fielder, Martin. Excuse me, that's not Martin. That is Robertson. Michaela Hill grounds it to the second baseman, and that'll do it for Stuttgart in the 6th. They put 2 across on the 2-run home run by Avery Hampton. They lead it 11-7 as we head to the top of 7. Back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Ricebird Softball on the EAB Sports Radio Network.
A generator is one of those things you never think about until you really need it. Luckily, Durden's in Stuttgart is your local authorized Generac dealer, and that means we can sell, install, and provide warranty service on your generator. And that's a big deal because a generator is a big investment, and you're depending on it to work properly when you need it. Call us today at 673-1356 to learn more about home backup options, portable generators, and even commercial options for your business. And let's save the candlelight dinners just for date night.
Durden's in Stuttgart. Guaranteed comfort since 1960.
Ricebirds 3 outs away from picking up a non-conference win over Star City. They lead it 11-7. Top of the 7th inning, it will be the 6, 7, and 8 batters. Conant, Riley, and Magnet, then Martin, and then the top of the order. Avery Hampton in the circle. She's going to try to close it out here. She's already thrown 6 good innings for Stuttgart, hit the 2-run home run in the bottom of the 6th. And she'll face Conant, who is on the hook for the loss right now. She is the starter in the circle for the first 5 innings. Wiest came in to relieve her. Here's the first pitch. That one's high. Already mentioned a few times, so it's not an announcer's jinx, but Hampton has yet to issue a free pass in any way. She's had 1 strikeout, so she's thrown to contact today. But Stuttgart's defense, after that real shaky second inning, has been much better. They made some nice plays. Michaela Hill with a couple of nice plays. Lily Griffin had one. Here's the 1-0. Pop up. That one's back of shortstop. Griffin ranges and makes the catch. 2 outs away. Gracie Riley, the batter. Riley is 2 for 3 today. She singled and was stranded at first back in the 5th inning. Hallie Watkins shades her a little bit to left field. Now she's going to go straight away. A lot of room in the gaps as the first pitch from Hampton is on the way. Off speed, swing and a miss. Pulled the string. Way out in front. Birds scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 5 in the fourth, and 2 in the sixth. 0-1. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. 0-2. Bulldogs had 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth. Each team with 9 hits, 4 errors for Star City, 2 for Stuttgart. 0-2 count on the DP for the Bulldogs. Hampton in the circle. 1 out, top 7. Swing and a pop-up. Back of shortstop. Griffin makes the second out, and the Birds are 1 out away. Couple of catches, pop-ups to Lily Griffin. Have the Bulldogs an out away. From handing this one to the Birds, that brings the left fielder, J.C. Magnets, to the plate. Magnets had a real nice catch earlier in the day. She is 0 for 3 at the plate. 2 strikeouts and a 6-3. Been on base once. That was on an E2 back in the second. First pitch to her is a pitch that just misses the top of the zone. Magnets back in the box, awaits the 1-0 from Hampton. Here it comes. Just misses off the plate in. And the count's 2-0. Shadows getting long here at the Ricebird Athletic Complex. We're not far from lights in this one. 2 balls and no strikes on Star City's left fielder. Bats from the right side. Here's the 2-0, swinging a ground ball. Lily Griffin, can she make all 3 outs in the inning? She cannot. The throw pulled Zella off the bag. So Star City with life here. And boy, I cannot impress enough upon everyone that we do not want to see the top of the order. Let's get Emerly Martin right here. The throw pulled Zella off. She could have kind of swipe tagged there, but instead tried to find the base and couldn't. And so the third error of the afternoon on Stuttgart keeps Star City alive. First pitch to Martin is a strike at the knees. Hampton kind of throwing that ball in the glove in a circle. Now she's ready. Has the sign. Softball in the glove. Here's the pitch. Upstairs. A ball and a strike now. Top of the order is on deck and looming. Here's the 1-1 delivery from Avery. Hampton off speed, popped it up in the infield. Hampton has it, and this one belongs to the Ricebirds. Stuttgart with an 11-7 win here on a Monday afternoon over the Star City Bulldogs. Avery Hampton with a complete game victory for the freshman. She also had the big swing in the sixth, the 2-run home run, as the Ricebirds get off the schneid, picking up a big win as they get set to head into conference play on Thursday afternoon. Stuttgart scores 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 5 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth for their 11 runs. Star City with 3 in the first, 3 in the third, 4 in the second, and 1 in the sixth for their 7. Each team with 9 hits. Star City with 4 errors. Stuttgart with 3. Avery Hampton strikes out 1 and does not give up a free pass this afternoon, as she is your winning pitcher. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Monday afternoon. We'll be back on the air on Thursday as Stuttgart hosts Truman. So on behalf of Evan Watson back at the station, Andrew Skinner on the EAB Stuttgart YouTube channel.